Hey, folks. It's Brian Hernandez here with Alex Kuntz, owner of Hot Tongue Pizza out in Los Angeles, California. Alex, why don't you go ahead and say hello to the world while I get Instagram going?
Good morning, good afternoon, Internet.
All right, so the internet is ready and they are waiting to accept your knowledge. So basically, guys, I don't know if you know the drill now, but we're doing a preview for the Pizza Power Forum. It's happening September 4th and 5th in Atlanta, Georgia. PMQ, QSR, and FSR, we're all going to be there. We're actually, the hosts, so we're looking to have some good parties going on. We actually do have some other shenanigans, and while Alex is talking, I'll pull it up and let you know what's going to go on outside of just the seminars. But Alex, why don't you tell us who you are, what you do, and then we'll go into what you're going to be talking about, and we'll be really quick. We can't, before we go, though, I did want to let you guys know on Facebook, you can comment, and you can ask your questions in the comments of the videos. I can see everybody in Facebook or on Instagram Live. I guess try asking a question there because I'm not sure how it works. I'm old. I don't know the interwebs like Alex does. I don't know how old Alex is. He's probably like 20 years older than me and just it's way cooler, so he seems younger, maybe. I don't know.
No, dude, I don't understand any of this either, dude. I just go to Google and I figure out how to work the TikToks and the YouTubes, and that's the way to go. But really, I wish I was as comfortable as your cat back there.
Yeah, I hope he behaves himself.
He's
So,
behaving.
Alex, take it away, buddy. Tell us who you are and what you do.
My name is Alex Kuntz. I own Hot Tongue Pizza in Los Angeles, California. I host my own podcast, Pie to Pie. You should all check it out. Occasionally, I get to go to places like the Pizza Power Forum and talk in front of a live audience about my 15 years in this industry. I'm very stoked to be out there in Atlanta this year. There is a lot of great people that are going to be there. LaMarco was, I think, talking last week. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Dudes from Via 313, like a lot of great talent. I'm super stoked, and I feel very grateful to be here live with you today, Brian.
Well, I appreciate your time, man. I know it's like noontime there, so I don't know if you're getting ready for the day or it's a lunch rush or what happens in your typical day. But I was also doing a little more stalking because you are just like everywhere. YouTube, like you said, you've got a bunch of your own shows and you make a good pizza to boot. So I want to direct everyone over to all your social medias, your Instagram, your YouTube page. Is it specifically YouTube, or is there a better way they can find all those podcasts?
YouTube is if you want to listen, if you want to watch it. But Pie to Pie, either on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. That's where most people listen. But yeah, there's recipe videos. I got it all over there. You can check it out. And yeah, trying to give out as much information as free. Try to make this community a better place. I forgot to add that I am also on the US Pizza team. I've yet to win, but I have big dreams. I have a good feeling about 2025.
Well, I'm excited about 2024, man. You've already signed up for the Real California competition. I might have you back on to talk about that and get some other people because you are a local. You're a national star to me because I'm all the way over here and I know you. But I mean, locally there, you've got some sway. But yeah, so we're super excited about that. But we're also super excited to have you on the team. I wasn't even going to brag about that one. We're here to talk about you, man. I'm just like I said, I'm super excited that you're part of our organization, and we're because of people like you coming on and pushing. We now have a new direction and a structure, and it's beautiful. And I'm gonna get you that information, and then everybody
love where
else.
It's going.
Yeah, we're super excited about 2025 for so many reasons, personal, professional, and beyond. Pretty much everybody. So I think everybody's shaking off the funk. Getting out again and saying, whatever be damned.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, at that point, I mean, what are you going to be talking about out in, at the Pizza Power Forum? I mean, I don't want to give it away for free, like you said. And again, guys, ask your questions here. Hey, Uncle Rico, I did see that. So you can't ask questions on the Instagram.
My guy, Rico.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to display that, but I'm not going to, if I touch it, it'll go away. So I'm going to leave it be. But I was looking at the Pizza Power Forum website, pizzapowerforum.com, and you've got two educational tracks, right? Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're going to be talking about?
Well, I'm doing 2 panel discussions, and then I'm doing a speech myself that mainly is going to focus on on culture. And the title, who I did not think of it. My guy, the legend Rick, probably had something to do with it, but it talks about, I think the title's like how to be cooler than the competition. And really a lot of what culture
Yeah.
is, I think, is all the uncool things. I think to build a strong culture, you need to have systems and processes in place. Everyone wants to think that, like, it's going to be a cool place where you can do
Yeah.
this and that, and it's going to be really chill, and we're going to listen to music, and like all those things are great. But if you don't have all the uncool shit, the checklists, the processes, the policy, all the things that like you kind of hated when you were younger, and that like you think like very like, oh, that's Walmarty or that's Super McDonald's, and it's like, well, those organizations got that big because of their policy and their processes. And it's important, even if you have one unit or 15, to really, that's your foundation. So if anything wrong happens or somebody has a question, the expectations are laid out. You know exactly what you're supposed to be doing, how you're supposed to be doing it. And when you have that direction, that's how you can have a booming, incredible culture, because everyone is happy, they enjoy the job, they know the job. And if you're good at your job, is what I always say, then you're always going to have fun doing it, because you're going to be able to make jokes, goof off, because you did all your busy work, or like, when to be to quiet down and just like blaze through the 2-hour rush and get those pizzas turning and burning. But it really is just about that foundation of policy and process. And I think that is what helps you build a great culture.
Yeah, yeah, like you said, got to know your time to play, take care of the work, and everything else will fall into place. Al, the pizza Buddha said, systems and process. I mean, it's
Yep.
absolutely right. And Lamarck is preaching that all the time. I think he's coming up in the August issue. We had some questions about franchising, and yeah, he just said systems and process. It's always that. So, all right. Well, again, so now I know all the chats are working. You guys can chime in and ask some questions here, but I'm going to just start this off. So, I mean, I guess you said, well, that was my first question, was how important is culture versus just being a good place to work? You have your rules and your checklist. I mean, you can have a good place to work and it's got great benefits and everything's in place and it's almost a no-brainer. But so how important is that culture? I mean, are people going to not go to a place that's still a good place to work if it's boring, I guess?
It's probably
Did I
going to
answer
be
my own
harder. It's
question?
probably going to be harder to hire, but people like to set up like core values. Like, these are our 5 core values and this is what we believe. And like, you can write those things down, but none of that shit matters if you don't have the process and the policy
Right.
in line. Because what you need for any kind of culture, or forget culture, any kind of relationship, long term or short term, you need expectations that are clear, and then you need accountability. And when you have those two things, you have a great foundation to not only build a work relationship, a personal relationship, that is the foundation where culture is built and any good relationship is built. And I guess I'm forgetting trust, but all those things happen. You give that to your people and they give that back to you.
All right. I mean, it all kind of does start from trust, and everything dominoes once you build on it, So I guess at this point, we're not, like I said, I'm not going to dive too deep into it, but what's one of the easiest ways that you can be cooler than your competition? Something that's maybe not going to break the bank, but I mean, I don't want to say along the lines of regular benefits for your employees, but extra benefits. I'm sorry, there goes my camera battery. So
No worries.
today's just full of fun, but yeah. So I'll change that battery while you're doing that. But what is some of the easiest ways that you can stand out from your competition without breaking the bank?
I mean, all the things that I've been talking about are free. So I'm not joking when you should have these systems of accountability and process, which might just be a closing checklist, an opening checklist, how to properly ask for PTO, giving PTO, whether it be 3 days or a whole week or 1 day. But creating the expectation is a lot of the time is just literal writing on a wall, whether it is how to clean a dish properly or how to break down the line, and like having pictures of all of your pizzas before they go in the oven, so that when your employee can look at you, when you say, hey, this is wrong, and they look to this picture that you put up, and they say, well, it looks exactly like that, they feel empowered because they can kind of call you out. And as owners, we do this thing where like we have all this shit up on top of our head, and like I've seen so many owners, myself included, for a long time, expect an employee or a team member to read our minds, and we change our minds so quickly. We got so much shit going on that we might walk past the line, be like, "That's too much pepperoni," and then they can look to this checklist and they say, "Yo, Alex, like there's 32 pepperonis on here. I counted it myself," and that's when I say,
Yeah.
"Wow, I'm fucking sorry," because, and I'm the asshole, because it gives them that accountability, the expectation, and all those things are free. It's a lot of work doing doing all of these things, but once you've created the processes, the policy, the checklist, the pictures, everything is so much easier on you and everyone else. It's quick and easy to change, and I think that that really helps any culture when there is a focus and everyone knows exactly what they're supposed to be doing, and when they're supposed to be doing it.
So just structure, man. I was looking for things like games and t-shirts, but you're like, no, it's all about, getting that structure. And that's the thing that everybody responds to, I guess, right?
Well, I ran restaurants where like, yeah, there was games, and like people always point to like, oh, you must have so much fun over there, like you do the reels and blah blah blah, but it's like, yo, we're not just sitting around here doing reels all
Yeah.
day. It's because like work has been done. We have a lull in the time, and expectations have been met, and like at the end of the day, we're all here, uh, everyone is here to get a paycheck. Yes, we build
Right.
relationships which are great and beautiful. And to me, community and those relationships are one of the most important things. But to have that good relationship, you have to have those systems in place, I think, because it's not fair to you or your team to just like be like, yeah, it's we're chill here. Like it is what it is, because you do that, and the you're gonna get a culture that you didn't create. It'll
Right.
create itself.
All right. Well, there it is. Systems, Brian. Systems. Just listen. He told you 3 times, dude. So, all right. Well, now one of the other ones that you are speaking on at the Pizza Power Forum was the, I believe menu development. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong page. I got his picture of his pizza stuck up on my screen. But yeah, here. So, pizza and beyond, developing a menu that performs.
Yes.
So that's another one that I think is fun. I mean, because you've gone through kind of an evolution in what you actually produce yourself. Um, and I mean, it's a story that you can tell people at the Pizza Power Forum, September 4th and 5th in Atlanta, Georgia. Go to pizzapowerforum.com right now and register, guys. But so, I mean, you can tell us as little as much as you want right now, but I had a question or two about developing a good menu. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that just real quick?
Developing a good menu. Yeah. Well, the best advice I could give is something that Bruce from Smart Pizza Marketing says all the time: is keep it simple.
Yeah.
KISS. The less you have
Yeah.
on your menu, and the best you pull that off, that's going to be the best menu. And right now, I am trying to shrink my menu down as much as possible because I can concentrate on things that are really selling, and really concentrate on how to make the things that are great even better.
Okay. I mean, it translates everywhere. Keep it simple, stupid. So Bruce is a great guy. So and that's the funniest thing is there's some guys on our pizza team that have huge menus. And I don't know how they do it. And they do it well is the thing. I mean, otherwise they wouldn't do it. But so all right. Well, so I guess is it one of the things that people just try to do way too much and they end up sucking at all of it versus doing something
I
really,
think when
really
you have
well.
a big, I think when you have a big menu, like you're going to sacrifice certain things. It's either going to be prep or you're going to buy stuff that's frozen. You're not going to be making it on hand, which, hey, it's not for everybody. And if it sells, then continue selling it. Everyone is different, but I feel like if you put something on the menu because it kind of sells, or like you're afraid to take it off because you think somebody's going to be mad, that thing probably needs to go. It is to me, if I walk into a pizzeria and their menu is as big as the Cheesecake Factory, I'm thinking red flag. You know, like
Okay.
I'm there to try their pizza, and if they have 16 or not 16, I think it's like 25 different specialty pizzas and one has shrimp on it and like I don't know, like there's crazy shit. I'm like, what's going on? I would love to see the kitchen. I would love to go straight Gordon Ramsay and look at the walk-in. But to me, those are red flags.
I get that. You can't do it all, and you got to sacrifice somewhere. What is one of the easiest additions or that you can do to any failing menu, or what is like one of the first things that you would suggest to somebody who says my menu sucks?
Well, like the first thing I would do is the same thing I started with. I would look at what's selling and get rid of the stuff that is not. Because if your menu or if your whole menu sucks, I mean, it might be time to find a new career. Or
that's a good point. It's just menu evaluation.
Yeah, well, it might be a life evaluation, or you can call somebody like myself who consults, and there's plenty of great consultants in this industry that will guide you and give you help. A lot of the times I give out all kinds of information for free. I always say I went to the University of YouTube. There is plenty of information. There is home cooks out there right now that are making better pizza than anything I've ever seen come out of some shops. So it is a wild time to be in pizza. But I would say if your menu sucks, look for help, ask for help, but really concentrate on what you're doing great.
I like it. It's bigger. It's bigger than your menu, man. Look deeper. Wheels of Fire Pizza Company says, he says he agrees with you. You get one of those yellow thumbs up. It says you live or die by the culture you set. So, yeah, absolutely. And I like, again, how it is all the facade, all what we see is all that fun and games. And you're like, that's not what we do. That's like this much of it. So I didn't mean to jump back to there. So, all right. Well, that was a deeper answer than, I was not looking for than I was expecting from, I thought you were going to say cheese sticks. Frozen mozzarella sticks.
No, dude.
Cheap, quick.
Those are the things you should
get a microwave.
No. Yeah. So what you should do is buy a microwave. If you have a microwave in the back of your restaurant, stop.
I was going to say that. Luckily, I was thinking about it, and none of the places I've worked have had a microwave in the back. Pizza wise, there was some restaurants that did, and I was like, what the?
Yo,
so
I worked at a pizzeria that like they were cooking their meatballs in the microwave, and it was like I said then and there, if I ever have my own shop, I will never ever have a microwave in there, and that has been a rule. So this ain't
some
Starbucks.
people go as far. Yeah, some people go as far as no freezers either. It's gotta, whatever can last in the walk-in.
No freezers over here.
Really good, very good. All right, no microwave, no freezers, always fresh. That's great. And I do encourage people to check out your Instagram too to see everything you're doing, and kind of the pizza journey. Just as far as the food wise, it's some good stuff. What have you found is like, I don't know, what's like a really good new performing topping, or what is the best performing new topping or food style coming out? Something that you've been wanting to play with, that you would maybe suggest people to look at to jump on a bandwagon for, menu development. I think how Detroit a couple years ago, everybody had to hustle to get the Detroit figured out.
Yeah.
Is there anything like that now?
I think squares are still very on the up and up. I think that like, especially out here on the West, like in Los Angeles, I'm still explaining to people what like a Detroit style pizza is. So, and every time people have it for the first time, they're like, holy shit. I mean, it is, yeah, there it is. It's delicious.
Yeah.
But I think that a post that we just put out, and we're starting to do bar pies next week, is something that like a lot of people have started to do. I had bar pie like last year in San Diego at TNT. They did a great bar pie. Brian and Rose City Pizza just started doing bar pie, and I think a lot of people are doing this tavern bar pie. I think it's going to be hot. That thin, crispy, classic, just real saucy. It's I don't know. I started playing around with it. People seem to really like it, and that's something that's new and hot.
Okay. Well, because we talk about styles on the Pizza Peel, the PMQ podcast, and It's like bar pie. Hot. I got to make a video for hot oil bar pie, but I mean, is it tavern style? What are you doing? Is it thicker? Is it more saucy? Like, because you were talking about out in the, I think it was the East Coast. There was an East Coast bar pie too. That was somewhere in Atlantic City, or
Baltimore Grill.
I don't know. I can't remember. It's something that I read just a few weeks ago. My retention is.
Yeah. Well, funny. I mean, it's basically, it's thin as like ours is like tortilla flat, and it's still you can still we're doing sourdough 71% hydration for a bar pie. It shouldn't even make sense, and you still like it's cracker thin, but you still get a little bit of like that weedy flavor, and it's really crunchy, and it's still chewy, and it's different. And then because it sits in the oven and gets like so like the cheese gets a little like crispier. Like it's the same toppings that are on our 14 or 18-inch round, but like they taste completely different because they're cooked for a longer time, in a different way. So it's really been interesting playing with it. I think people are really gonna like them.
All right. Well, I got a lot of ideas right there. Just, I mean, everybody, I like the Chicago tavern style, not the deep dish. That's for tourists. But I mean, that was thicker than say your Milwaukee, that cracker thin crust. And that's what I'm glad you said it. It's crunchy, but you still have some chew.
Yes.
And that's what I think is the difference between like a tavern style versus like maybe a bar pie. It is a little thicker. It could be just as thin, but it's not dry because you said 71% hydration on something like that. That's fun.
Well, I don't think that's right. I had toyed around with 2 other dough recipes where there was like a little bit more oil, and there was like it was at 60%, and then I even did one at 58. That was the first one, but like this one came out better. And also, I love if I can do something like that I'm not supposed to do. I'm going to do it that way.
Yeah.
And really, I have no emotional ties to bar pies. I grew up like in Seattle, Washington. I was eating Costco pizza, baby. That was the shit. A lot of people grew up eating this stuff or like have a connection to it. And I think that I'm lucky to just kind of like find this style of pizza and be able to be like, oh, I like it this way. And I hope other people do too.
Yeah. Well, just use it as a starting point. I mean, any more pizza is that, I mean, you can be a purist about it, and there are people who are, and that's great.
Yes, but that's true.
For the most part, everybody uses it, specific style just as an inspiration. So I love it, man. Again, because I mean, you kind of expanded in what you were doing from when you started to now, and just the pies that you've got posted up there. Again, I'm not going to waste anybody else's time. I want you guys to go look for yourself. It's not that I'm going to waste your time. I'm not going to give away the cow for free or however that works. Cheesy milk or something. I don't know. So, all right, guys. Well, without further ado, Alex kind of gave us some of his best tips on, developing why culture is important and, also developing your menu, something he's playing around with, trying to get traction and just, that interests him. So I'm excited to hear what else he has to talk about at the Pizza Power Forum. It's going to be September 4th and 5th in Atlanta, Georgia, guys. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be having, forgot to find the shenanigans, but there's going to be on the 3rd, I believe, is going to be a pre-show party. I believe it's going to be hosted by Alessio Lacco or the Atlanta Pizza Truck. So everybody involved in that's going to be great food. I'm excited. So on the next time, I'll give you next Thursday, I will give you guys more details. We will be talking with, Alessio Lacco. So perfect timing.
Woo! All right.
All right, guys. Well, Alex, thanks so much. What is your final word for the pizza world about just pizza in general and, hot tongue pizza?
I would say don't be judgmental, don't take life too seriously, and love everybody.
Simple. I love it. Keep it simple, stupid.
That's right.
All right. See you guys next time.
Thanks for having me, Brian. Later.
Absolutely, Alex. Later.